Okay, so I was thinking of making some more glitch art tutorials, and this time I'm just going to explain what will happen to the different file types when you edit them in a hex editor in Notepad, and what different ones will do. So if we open up the bitmap image first in my hex editor, you can use Notepad, or you don't have to use the specific hex editor, but this is the one I'm using. If we look at the bitmap image, open it up, you can see that it is quite organized, and there's a kind of a pattern that you can kind of understand. There is some form of pattern here. And the reason for that is the bitmap images will file type will record the information for every pixel will be right here. So one line, these three things in a row equals one color and equals one pixel. So then when we use the eyedropper tool in the actual image and look at it, this color, you can see that it says 32 right here. It says 32 3A A0. And we look back at the hex editor, you'll be able to see that there is 32 3A A0. Is backwards on this, but however it does it, that's the color, the exact same color. So if I were to edit one of these colors, we'll go to replace and 3A with C4. So all the 3A's will change, and do replace all. And save. When we look back at the bitmap, you can see that all this has gone green. This bit hasn't gone green because it will, if I was up here, hold on, if I was up here and I replace all this color, it won't replace whatever is above it. And I think I've just realized why the things are backwards is because I think it records the image upside down, which is why this isn't affecting the top. So that's the bitmap image, and that's why what this one does, it kind of just changes the color, changes all the colors completely. Okay, and then we can move on to the JPEG. The JPEG one, JPEGs record the information a little differently, and they kind of record them in 8x8 squares. You won't be able to see this because this is a high, like there's not much compression on this image. But when you look at the compression on this low JPEG one, a low quality, you can see that there's the 8-bit squares. So when we edit the JPEG image, let's just open it up. When we edit the, say, let's just change something, put some numbers in. And when we save, hopefully this works, because it usually doesn't. I might have to try a lot. Okay, well, let's save it and open up the JPEG. Nothing's happened, so I'm just going to I'm going to fast forward to something that's changed. Okay, so here is what's happened to the image when I've edited it in the hex editor. You can see that it changes the image by little 8-bit squares, 8x8 squares. And so that's the kind of glitches you'll get from the JPEG. You'll just get little squares which will start on the left and then it'll make this big kind of, usually kind of one color line all the way to the right. Alright, now I'm going to try and get through the GIF and the PNG ones quite quick. When we open up the PNG, quickly, because I don't really know much about them. It's hard to kind of understand and wrap my head around it. And I'm not a programmer or anything, so I don't really understand what's going on. Mostly because the second I edit anything with a PNG, let's just make this say 6A, and then when I save it, yeah, it's a massive kind of change. Big chunk is changed in the whole image, and I don't really understand what's going on. But whenever you edit the PNG, it's massive. Like, there's just giant, big kind of glitches, and I think that's why it's kind of cool, because it really is something wrong with the image. It's completely been destroyed. So that's what happens with the PNG. When I open up the GIF image, the GIF one, this one's not an animated GIF or anything. I think more happens to an actual animated one. But when I open up just the normal plain GIF image and change a lot of things, it seems to kind of moves around the image rather than changing colors and all that kind of stuff. When I save it, yeah, you'll see that everything's kind of moved to the right and moved to the left, and that's pretty much how the GIF one works. And that's the kind of alright, yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens for it. If I zoom in, yeah, you can see everything's kind of moved to the right, moved to the left, and little dots kind of appear. I don't know why they happen and what's kind of going on, but that's the result for that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed these tutorials, and thanks for watching.